Hello YouTube! How is everyone today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is beautiful out here. I mean, just look at this. Look at it. There's Loki. It's gorgeous, and the weather is finally good. Oh my gosh, finally. So today, I am working with Loki on his heel. He's got a decent heel, but he doesn't normally heel. He normally does a momentum pull for me while I'm walking. And that helps with knees a little bit. So we are working on his loose leash heel. So I have my side strap leash on here. So it's crossbody. I don't have to use my hands for it. So I also have treats here, which he adores. So some prerequisites for doing some healing while out in public and out in distractions like this is being able to know the heel command. You can work on loose leash walking, and I'll show you what the loose leash version of this is, and then I'll show you what the heel version of this is. Loose leash is not a formal command. I would use that for most pets. So if you're not planning on taking your dog out in public or anything like that, where you have to make, tight corners or make sudden stops, or there are a lot of people that you have to navigate through. Making sure I didn't have a car coming. They're doing construction here, way down the road over there. So I don't know if there's a car coming or not. Anyway, so loose leash is just for pets. If you're going to PetSmart or something like that, that's totally fine. Or Tractor Supply, Lowe's, Bass Pro Shop, anywhere that's dog friendly. A loose leash walk is fine. You don't need to have the dog under ultimate control. The time where you would need ultimate control and a really nice tight heel is if you're going to the mall or a fair, somewhere where they don't normally allow dogs, where there are normally a lot of people. So we are going to show you the loose leash walking version, and then I will show you the tight heel version. He should do pretty good at the loose leash walking version. That's about normally where he sits naturally, and I will try and get as much of this on film. I'm not going to be filming myself. You'll notice my marking word, instead of using a clicker or something, because I need extra hands, my marking word is yes, and I'm looking for just the loose leash. Anytime he pulls, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to use the treat to lure him back to my side. And by luring him back to my side, that's where I reward him. I only reward him when he is at my side. And that will teach a nice loose leash walk. It won't be a nice tight heel, but it will be a loose leash. So here we go on a loose leash. So he's a little far ahead, so I'm going to stop. That leash went tight. He's going to look back for a second. Good. And then I bring him back. A little bit of leash pressure, not a whole lot. And then yes, and reward. He's just tearing off little chunks of this. So. Oh. I also don't let him go to the bathroom whenever he wants. So I don't know him. Good boy. He knows this game. So you went a little far. Yes, good boy. And I let him back up a little bit. That was great on his part. So right now he knows that treat is in my hand, so I'm going to bring it back here a little bit. I hope this is working okay, because I can't see my screen very well. Yes. So anytime he willingly goes back into this spot, I'll reward that. Let me see if I can... I'll edit this later, so we'll see what works and what doesn't. And anytime he looks up, I will reward that as well. Nope. Get a poop face on. Yes! Anytime he looks up, I reward. Anytime. Yes! Also, I highly recommend you guys recording yourselves whenever you are training. You will be amazed at how much you pick up. Yes! Or how much you missed. So this is the loose leash version again. Oops. The leash should be, I'm going to correct that. Yes. Again, only reward in that heel position. And then continue to walk. Eventually, just continuing to walk will be his reward and not the treat. Yes! That. Reward. Yes! That. Reward. Alright. Pay attention there. Yes, that. Reward. I'm going to show you the tight heel version now that we've done regular loose leash. So this is going to be much stricter. I'm not going to let him go very far at all outside of where I set heel, and then we'll kind of go from there. Ready? Yep. So my heel, let's see my feet. His paws are in the arch of my foot, and that's really where I want him to stay. He can go a little bit in front of me, but not a whole lot. Heel. Yes, and I constantly, yes. So I don't tell him no or anything like that if he's a little bit too far up front. I let him correct it because out in public, I'm not going to be wanting way too far. Correct that. Lift up, give him a word, heel. And one thing, yes, that a lot of people do, a mistake that they make, is that they go heel, 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 and eventually the dog just kind of loses interest in, sorry, I'm watching him, the word loses meaning. So you want the words that you are saying that mean the world to your dog, being like, oh man, you really got to pay attention to this. She said heel, I've got to heel, you know, over and done. And only when he gets back in that heel position, heel, do I let him have the treat. Now, walking at a quicker pace will help. Definitely correct that. He is also getting tired because we've been doing this a while. Heel. Heel. Good boy. Nope. Come. Heel. Up. Heel. Yes. And sometimes I do lure him back with a treat. That trainer. Last stick, so then it gets fun for him. Because then he gets to walk like normal. If he's staring at me, look, heel. Yes, what a good boy. He knows heel pretty well. We've done a lot of heel work. Oh, sorry, you didn't get that one. There we go. We've done a lot of heel work, so I want to make sure that he's listening to his training, which currently he's tired. I'll give him a minute to do free. Free command means you can pee, you can poop, you can, which he's probably going to do, so I'm going to turn the camera away. It means you can sniff, you can walk around, you can pull on the leash if you really wanted to. He doesn't. He's really respectful of the leash, which is awesome. But he can basically, this is his time to do what he wants, and I'm not giving any commands. Then when we're ready to go, and I also don't move. Then when we're ready to go, I'll say, okay, you know, heel or let's go, or you know, whatever the command is that I'm using at the time, and then we go from there. So free is, I mean, right now he's just standing here. Say hi, Loki. Say hi. Good boy. Right now he's just standing here. He's not really doing much, but it's a mental break for him. We've been healing for, I don't know, probably a good mile or so now, which is good. You know, he's needed to work on his heel a little bit. Just because, again, normally when we're out in public, he is doing a momentum pull for me constantly. So it's not exactly a heel. Although he doesn't pull much, and it's just right out in front of me, he does pay very close attention whenever he's doing his pull. And he stops when I stop, he turns when I turn, you know, all of that, but it's not an official heel. So we're working on his heel just in case, you know, we're in a really, really crowded place and I want him right by my side. That's always a good thing to have. He used to be able to heel extremely well, We went through a lot of training for it, and we just haven't had to use it in a while, but we're planning on going to a fair soon, and with all of those people there at the fair, we know that we're probably going to need to have a better heel. So, working on that right now. So, I hope this has been helpful. I will go over how to teach heel in another video. So please like, subscribe, follow, and leave comments down below if you're interested in seeing more content like this, or if I didn't explain it in a way that was helpful, then please tell me how I can make this better. A couple pro training tips here. Timing is everything, so whenever you are doing your heel work training or any kind of training, the second they do what you want, you need to say yes or click and reward. If you don't do it in that second, then whatever they just did is going to be lost, and you lost a training opportunity. So you need to make sure that you are always paying attention to your dog, and you don't just let them go by the wayside. Loki is a service dog. He goes with me everywhere I go, and he is very well behaved. But, you know, even out here in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of cornfield, you know, there are distractions, so I can't just say, oh, you know what, he's good, he'll heal, I know he's going to heal. So I'm correcting it, I'm fine-tuning it. There's always more for you to correct and fine-tune with your dogs. If you're curious about any of his gear, let me know, and I can tell you more about the gear. I can tell you what tools I use for him, and give you a little bit more detail on that. So with that, we're going to continue our walk, and I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I hope the weather is as good for you there as it is here. So have fun training. Bye.